liturgical guitarist, and I'm going to share my arrangement of Amazing Grace. First I'll play through my basic liturgical guitarist arrangement, and then I'm going to share some other versions, an easier version that will help you if you are just having trouble playing the liturgical version. It will guide you into that. And then for more advanced guitarists, I'm going to share a few other arrangements that I have of Amazing Grace. So this video will be a little longer. First, I'll play through the arrangement that's available online through my website. Next page. Well, that was pretty close. Not exactly what's written, but very, very close. The second version is, and I give you the chords on the sheet music, and you can follow the link down below on the YouTube or on my website to get to the sheet music and print that out. The second page is the same thing with a few more ornamentations or hammer-ons and pull-offs. And the main thing on this is you're playing it as an instrumental before Mass, so you don't have to play it strict time like you would if you were leading the congregation. So you can, each phrase kind of leads into the da-da-da, 1, 2, 3, 4, da-da, 1. So it's leading into that one beat. There's a 1, da-da, 1, 2, 3, and 1, 2, 3, and 1, 2. So you want to make something of that. Like on the second version here. Each one of these lead-ins to that one beat kind of guide you into it, and then there's a little pause, sort of. And 1. So you want to get that kind of a feel to make this arrangement work. Now, if you're having trouble playing that, go to I have a link on there also for the Easy Amazing Grace or the beginning level Amazing Grace, and that's 2 pages as well, or 2 versions. And the first version is simply the bass note and the melody line. So, because you got to know the melody line, you got to be able to find the melody with your fingers while you're holding the chords. This is basic chord melody guitar here in this arrangement. So I'll go through the first one now. On the when you print it out, it'll say Amazing Grace and parentheses beginning level. So. 7, and third line C, C, 7, then F, back to C, fourth line, and then we're going to start on the next page, and the next page is a little bit, just a little, adds a few more notes. The C7, F over A, and C, and then A minor, D7, last line. So if you have trouble playing the liturgical guitar arrangement, start out with this one, work your way up to that, and then it's a real smooth transition into the first page of the liturgical guitar arrangement. The more arpeggiated C, and then C7, and F, like that. So now I'm going to play you the arrangement that I recorded on my Praying the Guitar CD. And that goes through 3 chord changes. Starts out with something roughly the second page of the liturgical guitar arrangement, a little with the ornamentation. Then it modulates into D major, and then finally into A major. And I'm not going to go through and teach these, but if you're a good enough guitarist to figure it out, it'll give you some ideas here. So. C to the A7 and modulate into the key of D. Now the melody's in the bass. So that's a nice long prelude that goes through 3 verses and 3 keys. I also do a version where I sing it. I'm not going to do that on here, but I start out with the intro in C, modulate into D, Amazing Grace, and then change to E for the second verse. With grace that taught my heart to fear, and then the third verse is through many dangers, toils, and snares. And then the fourth verse, I go to G, when we've been there 10,000, and then I go into A, the solo version, to close it out. Now, I grew up Protestant and never learned that the Lord has promised good to me, so I don't do that verse. That's not the way I learned it as a young Southern Baptist, but in the Catholic Church we sing that. But in my solo version, I don't do that if I get a chance to do that. Last thing I want to do is, if I'm leading this in a congregation, then I put a capo on the 2nd or 3rd fret and play it in D. I'm not going to put the capo on, and I'm not going to sing it, but this would be my intro. Amazing grace, how sweet the sound. That way you can give it a little bit of a country feel. And if you need a solo verse, then you would do something like this. D. Anyway, that was a little rough. I'm out of practice on that. But that gives you an idea of some things you can do with Amazing Grace. And so that's all I have for this hymn. And look for more videos on liturgicalguitarist.com. And I pray God blesses your playing and your service. And I wish you peace.